Good morning this morning. It's indeed a privilege to be here with you today, and I'm certainly excited to be on this channel with you. It's been a while. This is the Innovator's Dilemma, and I'm sure you've been wondering, where has this woman been? Where has she been? Like, she just disappeared. She went off the surface of the earth. Okay, so I'm still here. I've still been doing what I know how to do best, talking tech, talking STEM, talking education, and it's indeed a privilege to be here again. Today we're going to be discussing an interesting topic, and I'm streaming on two channels. So I'm just going to check now that my that both channels are ready and are on. Am I on? Am I on? Can you see me? Let me check that. Let's see. Just want to be sure that everyone can see me. Yes, I'm sure everyone can. Okay, beautiful. So welcome. For those that are joining me on YouTube, for those that are joining me on Facebook, it's certainly a privilege to have you. Today we are discussing a very important topic, and something that affects a lot of us as educators, as parents, and something that, bogs our mind a lot of times, bridging the knowledge gap in tech. So you see a lot of times in schools that really want to, infuse tech into their curriculum, into their system. They have challenges with doing that because of so many things. There's so many things that can actually prevent them from infusing tech into the system. Majorly, they are the people and finance. Those are the two major things that actually, hamper schools from implementing tech. And for parents, what are they? I'm sure you would mention a whole lot. I'm a parent, so I know some of the things that we encounter as a parent to ensure that we are tech savvy. Same thing as a school. I'm a school owner, so I know what it is, what it entails, having to, get your staff in line with tech, get your parents in line with tech. It's not an easy ride, but it's very achievable. So a lot of schools, they have struggled with this, and at the end of the day, they're like, I can't kill myself. I think we should just move on. I think we should just, do our normal traditional method. Let's just stick to the conventional way of doing things. But the truth is that it might be a painful process, but it's something that is very practicable, something that can be achieved. So what are the two major things in schools that actually impact, the tech in schools? What are the major things that influence influence infusing tech into your school? So there are two major things. I mentioned the people and I mentioned finance. So for staff, yes, you have, so for the people, you have staff, you have your parents, and then you have the end users themselves, which are your kids, right? But I would like to touch base more on the staff aspect. Yes, the resources, the manpower, people that would actually ensure that it's being done. So when you have your staff in line, of course, you would most likely be able to get your parents on the table and be able to get your children in line. But how do you then ensure that your teachers that are used to using the brick and mortar method are now tech savvy? How do you ensure that they are tech savvy, they stay tech savvy? The truth is that the first thing you need to be able to do is to be able to make training accessible and make it friendly. Now, when you make it like a do or die affair, when you make it like something that is very cumbersome, I see some schools that would make trainings very mandatory, like it's happening every Saturday, and it becomes something that is a strain on them. So they have no personal life. And then I see some schools that make it compulsory for you to use so many tools at the same time. So you're using so many tools at the same time, and you begin to get so overwhelmed. You don't even know which one you are using. I think very, very, very importantly, you need to be able to make training accessible and make it friendly to use. So you can have aid on Google Classroom. You can do the asynchronous mode of learning where you just go there, you post. and then you make it friendly, you make it engaging. You can even throw in some perks. When you encourage the staff that is reading or that is responding quickly, and then you kind of motivate those that are not responding, are not coming on board. You ask those ones questions more. You recognize their efforts. You put it on a platform that is easily accessible, something like a platform like Google Classroom. It makes it very easy. It makes the staff want to actually learn. Yeah, it makes them interested in learning how to use the tool. In your staff meetings, okay, so for instance, you're introducing Kahoot. In your staff meetings, you can decide to start throwing in the Kahoot game. And then as you throw in the Kahoot game, you ask them one or two questions that would, make them happy, make them excited. And then you say, oh, so you see that you can use this particular tool in your classroom. And guess what it will do? It will increase the energy level of your pupils. These are the benefits. This is how your child will feel, just as you're feeling now. Guess what? What do you think will happen when you're in the class and they're seeing their kids, not responding like they should, or not being interested in the class, or they notice the energy level is low, they would just train that game, and guess what? They would see the rewards. And as you do that, it would of course gravitate the staff towards using that particular tool. So another thing you want to do is also create a learning culture. So if you're able to create a learning culture, it gives room for your staff to be interested in learning. So for me, for instance, at the Oak School, it was quite difficult in the beginning. In fact, it was like, I know one mistake I made in the beginning was trying to make it an everyday thing. So it was like every week we had to be training every Saturday. And it put a lot of strain on the staff. And eventually I was beginning to see that instead of me getting rewards, I was getting staff that were not happy. So what did I do? I basically streamlined it, and I made my CPD every third Saturday of the month. And then another thing we did was that we decided to infuse 30 minutes CPD. So every Thursdays we do 3:30 to 4. You just learn something. So it might be a gap. So you notice that, oh, this particular teacher is not good in using the school management system, or the teacher is not excellent at using this particular tool. You could just use that 30 minutes. And guess what I always did? I made sure that it was the staff that was taking the training. So one of the teachers, so what happens then? The teacher will be mandated to go ahead and learn how to use that particular tool and be a pro at it. Why? She or he will not want to mess up, right? In front of his or her colleagues. So that's what we did. So we decided to, create a learning culture. 30 minutes on Thursdays, third Saturday of the month, the teachers come together and they will learn. Then once in a while, I just throw in, something on the staff platform on WhatsApp. Not every day. I don't make it very often, but so that they don't get overwhelmed. So I just throw something and I ask them, oh, share your knowledge on this, share your ideas on this. It helps them, and you see the head teacher also doing the same. And with that, it becomes part of them. It becomes a norm for them to want to learn, for them to want to explore, for them to want to know more. So that is the second thing you need to do. Number one, make training easily accessible, make it friendly, and number two, create a learning culture. It's very important. Another thing you want to do is to be able to actually survey their needs. So you need to be able to know what exactly are they lacking in. What exactly are they having gaps in? Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Kemi. I can see you. I see you. I see you. Thank you for joining in. So I see you, Mrs. Omobala. I see you, Mrs. Bala. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, another thing you want to be able to do is to ensure that you survey their needs. So you want to know what exactly do they need. A situation whereby you have staff and they know how to do a particular thing, and then you're forcing them to do that thing again and again and again. They become averse to it, like, I'm tired of this, I don't want to do this again. I want to learn something new. So maybe their competency gap is in Excel, and you are forcing them to learn quizzes, how to use quizzes, and they already know how to use quizzes. So it becomes very, so what you then want to do in that stage, in that regard, is to ensure that you actually carry out surveys. So maybe once in a month, For me, I decided to put someone in charge of my training, staff that I saw was competent and loves learning. In fact, she's writing professional exams now, every now and then. So I put her in charge. So she would go to the staff, she would ask them. She's not the admin, she's not the head teacher, she's someone independent. Okay. So she will go to the staff and then she will find out what they're lacking in, or what they would like to learn, or what she has noticed a short, maybe she has noticed a gap in, and then she would take a survey, get their feedbacks. Okay, we want to learn this, and then after then she would then bring all the topics to me and then say, oh, we have these topics. I don't know, which one do you think we should take? And I'll look at it based on the need I see, or the gap I see in the school. I say, oh, on a need basis, let's do this first and schedule the other ones for the coming weeks. And it has helped a whole lot. So you want to create a survey, feel their pulse, know what exactly they need, know exactly what they're lacking in. That would also help to improve their, that would, it also have to motivate them to want to know tech. And the fourth thing you want to do is also mentor their attitude towards tech. Because the truth is this, it cannot happen in a day. Imagine all the things you had to learn. Let's assume that you learned education, or you went to school to learn how to teach, or you went to school how to learn how to be a doctor. I'm sure it did not happen in one day. It did not happen in 3 months. It did not happen in 6 months. For some people actually go to school, basically as in for just one reason, to learn tech. You know that we have technology education, we have innovation in teaching and learning, just to learn tech. Here they learn how to use tools, they learn how to be innovative. So how do you then expect your staff that you employed and you want him to just in 6 months or in 3 months for him to start using all the tools and becoming perfect? It's not possible, right? So it's a gradual process. So you need to mentor the attitude. You need to renew their mindset. You need to encourage them daily, weekly, monthly, termly, until they become where you want them to be. And the truth is that not all of them would be on the same level at the same time. For some, just like you have your late bloomers and early bloomers in your school, the same way you also have late bloomers and early bloomers in your staff. So you can't expect all of them to, to become techie immediately, to become techie instantly. You see some that would, catch it quickly, and then you see some that would, go through the process slowly. So all you need to do is just ensure you keep encouraging them, let the fast learners, incorporate the slow learners, and eventually you would be at one, you'll be able to meet the same goal, which is to ensure that you have the tech service staff. It might take 6 months, it might take 12 months, it might take 2 years, but then you would be able to get to where you. I know how long it took me. We started in 2018 with Google Classroom, and of course, not everybody that started with us is still with us. So, but yet we have, some that just learned a little. We have some that are so good, and then we have some that, they just want to keep learning. They're just keeping at it, and it's so, so encouraging. The last one I wanted to say was ensure that you manage the people and don't manage the stereotype. Do not at any point think that, oh, this one is old, she's 50 years old. There is no way she will be able to learn. There's no way she will be able to learn how to use Zoom. I have met 50-year-olds that actually learned how to use tech tools very effectively, better than 35-year-olds. This is practically speaking. So they learned how to use Google Classroom. In fact, I was so marveled when I saw her. I asked her, do you know? She's like, oh, what's there? I can do it. I can do it. And she learned how to use Google Classroom in about 1 week, 2 weeks. She was already posting videos. She was already sharing, talking to her parents. It was quite interesting. So you need to know how to manage the people and not the stereotype. Forget about whether this person is 50 years or 100 years, and you just feel that the person will not be able to learn it. It's not about the age, it's not about the geography, it's not about it's about managing the people, Okay, so ensure that you are doing that. So those are the 5 ways I wanted to share for the schools. And for parents, for parents, it is not easy. I know how it is. Lagos alone, I'm talking about Lagos, Nigeria. But aside Lagos, Nigeria, even wherever you are, anywhere in the world, it can be a whole lot. You are managing crazy schedules, you're trying to meet deadlines. There is there's practically no time. Like you really want to make money. You just want to make that money to take care of the family. Where is the time to start learning about tech? So for parents, one of the things that really affect us is our schedule. And what you can do in that regards is to ensure one of my, in fact, she's right here in this channel, Mrs. Omobala. She was talking about ensuring you create a schedule. Just block it, block that calendar. That's the best bet because there will never be time. There would just never be time. But first of all, you need to block your calendar. Secondly, you need to make it look like, put it into your leisure time. So it shouldn't be something that is strenuous. It should be something that you look forward to doing. It should be something that it's like a hobby, like cooking, like reading for some. So it should be something that should be done during your leisure. So I would recommend if you can put in just 2 hours out of your 48 hours in the weekend. You could use 1 hour to learn it too, and you can use the another 1 hour to practice. Okay, so take out 2 hours. If you take out 2 hours every weekend, you have um, taken 104 hours in the year to actually learn a tech tool. And if you're able to do 104 hours every year, you definitely would learn something. So if you have 1 hour to learn a tech tool, it means that in 1 year you have learned 52 tools. 52 tools. Man, if you know how to use 52 tools, you are a pro. Yes, so please, I really want to encourage you, create a schedule, block those 2 hours every weekend. Learn how to use a particular tool. It doesn't mean that you are learning how to use the whole. So it could be that this weekend I just want to know how to use a particular function in Excel, or I want to learn how to use the advanced methods in Excel. I want to learn how to do a stunning PowerPoint presentation. The average um, amount of time on Coursera, FutureLearn, some of these, self-paced learning platforms is usually about 30 minutes to 1 hour. That's when you're doing a short course, not the long ones that take 3 hours. So the average time is between 30 minutes to 1 hour. So you can actually, if you are determined, create a schedule, learn a tool for 1 hour, practice for the next 1 hour. And then during the week, try to ensure that whatever you're learning, you're infusing it into your daily activities, either at the office or with your child. So in 1 year, you would have achieved 52 tools. You'd have learned 52 tools and you'd have effectively practiced them. So it's a gradual thing, but it's something that is very achievable. So don't feel that you cannot do it. Another thing you want to do is have somebody that is a mentor. So the person can either be a mentor or you can just have a tribe of people, have a group that you follow. So when you have a particular group or a tribe, or you have someone that mentors you, that is tech savvy, it goes a long way to help you. Try to contribute to those groups, try to read and understand what you're talking about, try to be able to um, talk to your mentor about it, try to be able to share your concerns, ask questions, don't be mute about it really, because the truth is that when you keep mute, you in fact you end up learning nothing, and it's to whose detriment? It's to yours. But the inquisitive mind goes a long way, because then you're able to ask questions, you get answers. So make sure you have a mentor, make sure you have a tribe. You don't necessarily have to be calling a mentor every time, but that mentor will probably have a social media channel or a blog or a platform that you can go to, and then you can log into maybe when the person has sessions, or you can send messages to help you. So have a tribe, have a mentor, have a group. We have so many of them. We have them on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. There's so many groups. A lot of them offer free trainings, free sessions. So ensure that you are joining these groups. They help you a lot in bridging the tech gap. Another thing you want to do is to engage your kids. So if you have kids, if you have your nieces, your cousins, your nephews, believe me, these kids, they know more than us. Imagine a 7-year-old child. No, then my child was 5, not even 7. She told me, she asked me a question and said, Mom, do you know this? And next thing, I'll just Google it. So what exactly, what do you think that child will not know when she's 12 or 13? So there are a lot of kids are very, their mind is, maybe because they're not doing so much, they have a very wide capacity and they have the ability to stretch their minds, their brains, and absorb information. They learn very quickly. And the truth is that when you engage with your kids, it's very, very easy for you to, yes, thank you, Mrs. Bala. Speaking from experience, yes, I'm very practical today. So it's very easy for you to actually learn. It's easier to learn, it's easier to engage, it's easier to connect. So, for instance, your child is in Google Classroom and then you sit with your child and you're seeing her navigate the platforms, you're asking questions. And by the time you start doing it with her together, guess what? Number one, it improves the bond between you and her. Number two, it also improves your own knowledge, right? Same thing on same thing with learning the tools. You begin to also expose yourself to some tools because I know a lot of schools give so many assignments, assessments on this platform. So for instance, an Ed Puzzle on Kahoot, if that is what you want to learn, on PowerPoint, on how to use OneNote, which we should know how to learn really. You really want to know how to use all these tools because right now we are gravitating towards the use of tools, robots, machines in companies. So companies want to know that you know how to use all these tools and that you're a fast learner. And the only way you can actually skill up, the only way you can actually fine-tune your skills is by doing what? Ensuring that you know, learn practically how to use the tools, continue to expose yourself. Some of them are well related. So for instance, if you know how to use Google Classroom, you will most likely know how to use ClassDojo. If you know how to use PowerPoint, you will most likely know how to use um, Google Slides. Yeah. If you know how to use Microsoft Documents, you most likely know how to use Google Forms. So the truth is that learning how to use all these tools, you might feel that, oh, I'm wasting my time if I'm helping my child. No, learning how to use all those tools actually fine-tunes your skills and prepares you, gives you a springboard for learning how to use other tools. So it's very, very important. So number one, for parents, engage your kids often and bond with them, work with them. And number two, stay current. Number three, create a schedule. And number four, I know some parents will say, Cindy has come, businesswoman, monetize your knowledge. You can actually monetize your knowledge. Yeah. So a lot of parents, a lot of people, a lot of individuals are ensuring that they, you know, monetize their knowledge. You can either write a book on what you have learned, either on PowerPoint or either on edutech tools. You can do that. You can also have a channel where you talk about tech. And after a while, when you have built the channel consistently over a period, you begin to get rewards for it. And guess what? In monetizing your knowledge, you get spurred to want to always keep learning. That's just the truth. You always want to keep learning. You want to learn more because people are hungry for more. They want to know. They want to hear more, and because you also have to stay current, right? So you would have no choice but to keep learning more tools. And as you learn more tools, you would keep making money. And as you make money, apart from the money aspect, the truth is that it also fine-tunes your skills. So monetizing your knowledge helps you fine-tune your skills. It helps you improve your love for tech. It helps you to bridge the tech gap. And then even in monetizing your knowledge, you begin to find ways to improve the platforms that you use or improve the ways you advertise and let people know about it. So you want to learn how to use InShots, you want to know how to make outstanding videos, you want to know how to make outstanding promotions that will, put you out there. So yes, monetizing your knowledge is also key. So I've discussed at this time 5 practical ways for schools and 4 practical ways for parents. I don't know if you have any more that you feel you might want to share. I think it will be good enough that you share those. If you have any questions, you can drop it in. Another thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention was on finance. Yes, I mentioned that for schools we have people being one of the factors influencing our tech, our ability to implement tech in our schools. So I talked about people and I talked about finance. So on the finance aspect, finance can actually be a major issue. I mean, think about it. If you're a startup school, for instance, and you're still even thinking about how to get to 100 pupils, then you now have to now think about buying laptops or having an ICT lab for every child that every child can access in your school. It is not easy. It is not easy at all. Believe me, it is not easy. And if you are in a country where you do not have support from the government or you're just alone, it can be really difficult. But the truth is that only one laptop in a school or in an institution can transform the school. That is just the truth. Just one laptop, just one desktop can transform the score. How? You might decide to have a particular, so for all your classes, you might decide to, if they have ICT, you might decide to schedule a particular hour in which the children have access. Okay, on Facebook, okay, I'm reconnected. So you might decide to have one laptop and then create a schedule in which all your school classes have access to the laptop 1 hour daily. So, for instance, you might have the elementary 1 and 2 on Monday, on Tuesday, the elementary 3 and 4 have access for 1 hour. On Wednesday, like that, just 1 hour. And then you can also create schedules for the teachers too. So the teachers are able to have access to the laptops on a particular day and within a particular hour. That can also help. And the good thing about tech again is that you can use your mobile devices. And I'm yet to see a teacher that does not have a good smartphone because they themselves are on social media now. They want to, post videos, post pictures, look dashing, then TGIF. I'm at a wedding, I'm driving in my Maserati. So yes, so they have smartphones, they have the ability to actually use them. So the only thing that you might want to do is to put together a policy that ensures that they are not abusing the use of the smartphone, so that whenever they are using their smart devices, you know that it is only for the purpose of the classroom and for the kids, not for any other purpose. So you really want to do that and ensure that your children are getting the required knowledge and your teachers are immersed in tech. Okay, then gradually you might begin to introduce, you might begin to get more laptops and desktops as you grow. You might begin to expand. You don't have to do it at once. Buy one today, buy one laptop this term. In second term, buy one more desktop. That is what I did really. I started with 4 desktops. And then from 4 desktops, I bought another 4 desktops. And then even for my staff, I was buying laptop. So I would buy for this class, buy for the other class, buy for the other class, like every term. So that is what I did myself, so that you don't put so much burden on you and you don't put yourself under so much pressure. And we decided to use smartphones as much as possible. But we have a policy where you're not expected to use for any other purpose. And the teachers know they are expected to be disciplined, right? So they're expected to ensure that they comply. If they are caught, they face the consequences. So yes, put together policies, have a system whereby it's not so much on a burden and it's not so much a burden on you. Ensure that you put together a workable system and a schedule that would, ensure that everybody is able to participate or use the systems that are available. Yeah, another thing you want to do is that you want to carry your parents along. Yeah, so with that, if you're carrying your parents along, you can ensure that all your parents have tablets for their kids. You can do that. And that, in fact, that has solved 101% of your problems if you can do that. So you want to carry them along, you want to create workshops, you want to facilitate workshops that would encourage them to be in line with tech. So make them see reasons, make them know why their kids are and should be digital citizens. Make them know that they need this required employability skills, because without it, they will not be able to fit into the work offices of today. That's just the truth. So let them know, tell them that, oh, we need these devices will help them learn. We need it for them to learn how to collaborate better, to communicate better. We need it for them to be tech savvy. We'll be doing assessments for them. The assessment will contribute to 30% of their marks for the term. These are ways that you can infuse it as a score into that you can infuse the love for tech into your parents, and of course improve tech in your score. So it's very important that you do some of these things. So for the finance part, I've said what? Number one, you want to leverage on your parents. You want to have them, understand the need to buy tablets for their kids. For some, that of course not everyone is on the same level. Not everyone will be able to afford it. So that at least for those that can afford it, will afford it and make it easier for you to infuse tech into your school. So for those that cannot afford it, then you have a system in the school that at least all the children will be able to have access to. Very, very important. And then gradually you can begin to get more laptops, you can begin to get more desktops, you can begin to grow. And I'm sure that as the parents begin to see, my child now knows how to use this. My child, I need to get a tablet for my child. You will see the parents. If the truth is that if every parent can have a smart TV in their house, or have a TV, maybe it's not smart, have a TV in their house, or they have a phone, then they should be able to buy a device for their child. Yeah, because when you have a TV in your house and your child doesn't have a device to learn tech, then your priorities are misplaced, don't you think? Yeah. So it's very, very important that we ensure that we are, infusing our children into tech and infusing our schools into tech. So yes, I've shared practical ways on how to, make tech, how to bridge the knowledge gap in tech in our schools. I talked about number one in schools. I talked about in the aspect of staff and finance. I said we should make training accessible and friendly, create a learning culture, carry out a survey from time to time to know their needs, mentor the attitude towards tech, manage the people and not the stereotype. That is for staff. And then for finance, we talked about leveraging on parents. We talked about creating a schedule too for the use of a laptop, one step at a time. Very, very important. And then we talked also for parents that we should create a schedule. We said 2 hours a week. We give you 2 hours a week. We give you 104 hours of learning tech in a year. And you would have learned 52 tools at the end of the year if you have 1 hour dedicated to learning. And then we said you should always stay current. And then engage the kids, bond with them, learn with them. You want to know, you want to, when you're doing it with your kids, there's every tendency that you will develop a love for tech. And the last part we talked about was monetizing your knowledge. Anything that brings money, you will love it, won't you? All right, so I had fun and it's been 30 minutes. Yes, I kept the time, 30 minutes of learning. I hope you had fun. If there are any questions, I would like you to drop in the comment section. If there are any questions, if there are no questions now, or you think about something, or you're worried about something, or you want more clarity, you can always reach out to me on the edinnovator@gmail.com, or via my social media platforms at the Ed Innovator on YouTube, or on Instagram at Cindy.Ofune, or on Facebook at the Ed Innovator. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something today, and I hope that you would implement it. Learning is in the implementation, is in the execution, not just in the hearing, right? All right. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Do have a lovely day. Bye.